Hello, welcome to another AmuLIT League. We're gonna be trying out some new cards in this list, which I have been moderately impressed by. Hopefully, we can continue doing some winning right now. All right, we got a good opener here. My opponent says "Como va Fran," so I assume that they know me. This is a turn 3 Titan, which is nice. So we keep it playing against Yorion. Not the most common thing. Usually when your opponent takes a second because they are revealing their companion, it tends to be Lurus instead of Yorion. I'm gonna try to delay showing my opponent the cavern if I need to, because they might be playing some form of control over there. Though this cavern does allow me to turn to Azusa Triumph. Okay, so this has to be Scape Shift. I stand corrected. Not Scape Shift. Sick. Well, these are some good draws. So let's do this. Let's do this. Name Human. Oh, let's see those main deck Aether Gusts, baby. We reset Cavern now, and we have Covered on Giant next turn. Pretty solid opener over here. Has any of the new cards from Zendikar caught your attention? Yes, I'm gonna be talking about that in the podcast. This week's episode. I think it's gonna be dropping on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So my opponent's playing all 5 colors, so this has to be Niv, I would imagine. I could haste this Titan. Oh, sweet. So now we can haste the Titan. So let's do Giant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we can get Pog. Alright, so they are 100% on Niv at this point, right? We got by the one-off shadowed out in the 80 card deck. Brutal. Yeah, this is whatever. My opponent's just losing to the board, so this is not even death touching. So is this lethal? Wait, transmit? No, it's not lethal. Never mind. So I guess since it's not lethal, I'm gonna go with. I guess we do the same thing. T-West and Simic, but we just go get another Titan here. My opponent can force a Wrath. Three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Just play another Titan. I just backed it in. Okay, so I'm assuming Niv here. Since I'm assuming Niv, let's go with the trackers. One explosive for Ashiok purposes. And that's kind of it. I don't think I want bolts. Yeah, Matt, I started late because I recorded the cast. There's a chance that 4 trackers is overkill. Well, you want to naturally draw them, right? Pact is probably medium. Yes, but it's a necessary evil. Like, I have to be able to counter their Almorigos and Nifs. I just have to. Both of those hands seem very, very slow. And this hand is just perfect, so very well rewarded. I mean, as long as they didn't naturally draw the ego. It's kind of brutal that I can't, because of my moving to 5, I can't really play around anything, really. Can't really play around anything. Remand. My opponent's playing Remand in their deck. That's not something I was expecting in their 5-color deck. Now that we drew the second green source, this is obviously better. And I'm exposing this, but I kind of have to. Because I need to make sure that if I draw another bounce land, I can actually do something here, right? I can actually cast my Titan next turn. They have Remand, though. Which is kind of confusing, honestly. This is, of course, bait. Fandangos, thank you for the follow. Also, I don't know what a Fandango is, but like Green Fandango is one of my favorite games ever. I love that game so much. Don't attack into Quaddle? I don't know if I'm going to be attacking just yet. So that resolved. Asmod with the Prime sub. Welcome back to the Prime Test Circle for the 5th month in a row. Really appreciate it. So we cannot both transmute and do this, so I guess that I'm going to make one land drop. And I'm going to transmute to the request to play around Shadowed Out. What do I need to have? Do I need to do this? Feels like I don't have to do this actually. Why don't we just pass? This is bad against Kolaga's command destroying my AmuLIT, but sure. Maybe I should have activated response there. Oh, that's nice. Sweet. So 1, 2, 5. And I guess we bounce the field. So now they can do whatever they want here, but like we get to kill the Wren. So even if they shadowed out, it's still fine. Yeah. Ha! They had it. Not playing around Path to Exile, obviously. Kill your Wren. I wonder how many Shadowed Outs are they playing? Because they just naturally draw them twice. And at this point, just a more ego doesn't even do it. We're kind of a more ego proof. I guess they could have like trophy plus ego maybe. Oh, we're still in fine shape if that's what they have. Lol. Snap Shadow? I mean, they need to. I mean, at this point, they need to stabilize first. First and foremost, if they don't stabilize, they just lose. Interesting that they're going for the shadow instead of the remand. I guess it makes sense. Like, they're just dead if I resolve this, so. Yes, it's not that surprising. So, haste this, move to combat, serve with both. What happened? They didn't block? Why would they not block? Maybe they just, like, their hand just didn't go anywhere. I'm assuming that they were on 5-color Niv, but I'm legit not sure. I just don't know. Anyway, 1-0. I don't think Niv is that good of a matchup, so it definitely feels good to beat that one. Even through the main deck, shadowed out. This hand is perfect. And this is again a turn one AmuLIT hand instead of a turn 1 Stacy hand. Because like even if I do resolve Stacy and even if I end up with Stacy, like it doesn't really change my turn 2. Next turn I can still Dryad plus Stacy, so I want to make sure that my AmuLIT is good to go and doesn't get thought seized or something. Ese doble titán del tope como me dolió, sí, estuvo... Ligué bastante bien, Morde. Y eso que tenías las cosas en el main deck, las Shadowed Out en el main deck. Crumble, Illicit Charm y Shadow con Snap, claro. Alright, so let's try it here. I think I'm gonna explore, actually. And my opponent, they're on humans, so they need to draw exactly. Sweet. So they need to have Meddling Mage in hand. Is the only way that they don't lose. The good thing for them is that if they do have Meddling Mage in hand, then we're actually in trouble. Nothing relevant we can pack for, etc. Well, guess we just gotta hit some land drops now. Where's the Violence 6 when you need it? Exactly. Feels bad, man. Well, this is bad for me. So at this point, we are far behind enough that like what we needed to draw was like multiple like at least one Valakut and 2 more lands. So at this point, we just don't have enough draw steps. in order to do anything before my opponent actually kills me. So my opponent had a turn 2 kill with that opener, which is pretty impressive for the humans deck. You don't see a turn 2 kill every day out of humans. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Gracias, papá. ¿Viste los emoticones también? ¿Viste qué bien que andan? We got brand new emotes courtesy of the one and only Vantash. Friend Ivan made this emotes. We have more emotes together coming down the line as well. Pretty exciting. But yeah, what Ivan is referring is the demystifying Titan Vial video that I put together. So if you haven't checked that one out, I strongly recommend you go to my YouTube channel and check it out. 2 hours where I basically don't even take a breather and I simply just stock Titan Vial non-stop for 2 hours. This hand doesn't go anywhere, right? This hand is better. And this hand is also kind of medium, but it is better. How have the bolts felt? Honestly, pretty solid. The mystifying friend is the best friend. Thank you, Rev. Wow, reflecting pool. I think I'm bolting this in response, right? Because if my opponent is like ghosting or something, then we're not gonna be able to bolt. So I should probably play around the ghost. Brutal. 1 mana short. 1 mana short. Alright, second meddling mage or bust? Second mage or bust? Because next turn we're gonna get to do the thing. Do the thing. Don't have it. Don't do it. Right, that one's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. Also, if we drop like an AmuLIT, we're gonna be in really good shape. Of course, we didn't. Don't do it. All right, explosives off the top one time. EE of the top one time. Too good, too good. I could have tightened there, but we lose to a Phantasmal Image or another Mantis Rider, so we also lose to Talia's Lieutenant, so play around double Dismember. No way I'm playing around double Dismember. So let's do Valakute and Foothills. Field here? Sure. We couldn't have presented lethal there, so I'd rather make more zombies, I guess. No fountain in the deck? Yes, there is fountain in the deck. But we'll go up to 9, we still lose to... I guess that we don't lose to Lieutenant if we get fountain, so I guess that's different, but like we are still losing to the same things, right? We're still losing to Phantasmal Image or another Mantis Rider there. Okay. We are the hand, but I think it's actually keepable. Stomping Grounder 1, I think. Then we can Fountain. And I think I might back for Dryad here. Oh, brutal. Whoops. Punished for not shocking. Explore would be nice. Scout would be nice. Sure, I guess I can't really complain about an AmuLIT here. And I'm going to play Castle. Because if we have a Titan or an Azusa, we actually can Titan next turn now. Which is pretty sweet. It's not looking good for us. No. Alright, EE of the top is what we need now. Do that bold is for spinning one league and I already hate it. I guess. Hell yeah. Well, the good thing is that if we draw a Titan, well, we're not playing Stronghold, so I guess that we can't even block if we draw a Titan. What are we taking? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't really beat Deputy, so we're playing to Deputy because it doesn't really matter. Wow, this is one that I have not seen in a long time. All right. Absolutely brutal, huh? Absolutely brutal. We're so insanely close to the win. Rough. Pretty rough. That is definitely a hole in the plan, obviously, right? Like you're basically you can basically not beat turn 2 medley mage. The good thing is that only humans plays that, and humans is not that popular currently. So it's probably not that much of a concern. But that's pretty tough. Like not being able to beat a single card in game 1, like a 2-mana card, it's pretty rough. Like you would need to naturally draw your Valakut and Dryad. It is a little bit sketchy. Maybe it would be better to just play the explosives in the main and move the pack to the sideboard. Yeah, we're gonna keep this because this hand is kind of perfect. Name Giant. Plan, let's say go. All right, so I guess we win here. Guess we really win instead of just winning. Do you think Rex Age and Force are enough to help with the ad nauseam matchups, or would sideboard negates be necessary? Well, number one, I don't think ad nauseam is that popular. That's the very first thing. And second of all, I don't think ad nauseam is that bad of a matchup. I don't think it's a good matchup, but I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. It is a really swingy matchup, which does make things weird sometimes, because it's really draw dependent and you need to know what your opponent can do at every point in the game, etc, etc. So it's kind of an awkward matchup to play. Has defense really had enough utility to bring in over harder counters like good or response? Well, Veil and good or response do not answer the problems that I want to answer. So there's that. And then we have a completely different question, which is whether defense grid is good. And I don't know if it's good because I've only played it in one league and I have not drawn it yet. And I can tell you, what I can tell you is that the things that you want to answer, the cards that you just named don't. So I am ready to try other things that maybe might work or maybe might not. Very weird hand. Super, super weird hand. Is it crazy that I think I want to bottom the Simic here? Like, we already have Titan mana, and it's worse if I draw AmuLIT, but it's kind of better otherwise. What is the problem? You want to fix Aether Gust, Ashiok, etc. Maybe I should have main phase killed this. I should probably main phase kill that. We need Red Elemental Blast. Yeah, Red Elemental Blast would fix all the issues that I have, basically. Unfortunately, I don't think that Red will ever get printed into Modern, but if it did, though, yeah, okay, my draw steps have been... they have been above average, I will say. They have been above average. We're definitely drawing a Titan here off the top. Just wait for it. Unluckiest. The unluckiest. Well, I guess we can still Titan here, right? Jeez, is Castle a busted card? Holy crap, is Castle a busted card? Seems like whatever response does a decent job at least beating Gust. Actually, is obviously still an issue. Well, the thing is that it does and it also doesn't. Like, in theory it worked, but when your opponent draws the Teferi, now your Gust gets blanked. Your good old response gets blanked, right? So it's not only a matter of, like, does the card beat the card on paper, but also a matter of, like, in practice, when I'm actually playing the games, does this play out in the way that I expect it to? And it kind of does not, which is the problem. What is the 60th card? Only see 59 in the Stream Decker. Oh, that's really weird. It's Battlements. I literally doesn't find it. That's weird. Yeah, it's Handway Battlements. Stream Decker apparently cannot process that. Sure. This is a turn 4 Titan, but if we draw an untapped land, this is a turn 3 Titan, and if we don't, then this is a Titan with... this is a Titan with Dryad, so it should be close to lethal. Meld cards are weird on Stream Decker. Yeah, I mean, that's what I assume. Okay, so we're playing against Sultai. Right. Here's my AmuLIT. Honestly, it's unclear whether I'd rather my... Nah, I guess they have push for this, so I should have probably led on this. Yeah. Untap land. Let's go. Feels bad, man. Cool. Uh-huh. I think I'm gonna spend this turn to transmute, actually. Just go with Cavern. It's not that my opponent can get back Udo here, right? So... Yeah, the new weird form of LD card is okay. Like I think it has potential to see play. I don't know how good it actually is going to be, but giant. I love how much blue mana we have here. I mean, the gust? Nope. So let's do Telluri West and Cruel Turf. Sure. I guess I should have flashed in the Snow-Covered Forest. Do I still give out the Saturday Guide to subscribers? Yes. Alright, so in this matchup we definitely want to watch out for Vendilion clicking post-board games. Just a funny thing to say. Something that I haven't said in probably years at this point, but definitely something that we wanna watch out for. So they're gonna need Cryptic Command plus Force of Negation. Oh yeah, that's not gonna do it, pal. So 1, 2, 3. So 1 minute short. Is this fine though? Just gonna get Bog and Field here. Oh, I guess I could have hasted. That was silly. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I guess I couldn't have hasted because I don't have a red source. Never mind. I mean, it's not like we're losing that game anyway. Okay, so bring me this. Cut these. Cut these. And we can shave 1 castle. Probably 2 castles. I guess not 2, just the 1. I can see shaving 2 actually. And Explorer is pretty solid. Just make an Explorer. Make sure I've left Cruel Turf in play for haste. Yeah, maybe I should have bounced. I was thinking of I want all the blue swords that I can in case I want to use the Pact. I really don't know what my opponent could have played there, like main deck Ashiok or something. Like if my opponent plays a main deck Ashiok, maybe I would Pact it. So I wanted to make sure that I couldn't get blown out by like main deck Ashiok plus like Tectonic Edge, right? Something silly. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I have multiple blue sources in play. Maybe it just wasn't the play though. This strikes me as a keep against this specific deck because how effective I think that relic is. Put almost to 6. We should have 3 sources in play. Did I have 4 blue? I had 2 Simics, 1... Oh, I had the breeding pool. You're right. I forgot about the breeding pool. Alright, so these relics better be real good, huh? Got him. At least we're not gonna have to worry about Mystic Sanctuary or Uro this game, which is nice. If they tap out for Ashok here, it's not the end of the world. That's actually amazing, right? So I can play this as bait. Like if my opponent counters this, like whatever. Let's see what this is. Alright, it's pretty good for them. Pretty solid there. So in this coming turn, am I supposed... I guess we're gonna see what they do here. So this is whatever. Like that's honestly just a bad play for them. Am I supposed to track her? I think I'm supposed to track her here. See if this is resolved just like that. Okay. So they don't have Mana Leak. But I guess there's no reason for me to play into anything, so we just pass. I guess I could have also played the Azusa there. Don't really see the point for that. We can just like draw a card here on end step. Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's fine. Like we just win now. Just want to make sure that, you know, we get a counter on this tracker before my opponent bounces it, you know. Okay, so I'm probably gonna get a little bit greedy here. But I think it's correct because this actually answers the Jace. While giving me more value, and we can still... Like this puts insane amounts of pressure on the board. And then we still have the Cavern on Titan for next turn. So we kind of played into Fatal Push there, but I think it was still correct to do because like the upside of answering Jace is just so high, I think. Like, I don't care if my opponent answers my entire board here, right? As long as my opponent does not keep pulling ahead. Like, that's the only thing that I care about. Like, my opponent not pulling ahead, and without the Jace in play, they can't, so... I think that was the correct line there. Allowing me to multi-spell in the same turn. Man, I'm really stoked that the tracker is back on the menu. I love this card so much. José, tudo bem? Que hora é no Portugal? Gonna jam a with a Glimmer AmuLIT again? Hell yeah. Tracker is some good old-fashioned value. Yeah, Tracker is one of the... I mean, just look at this card. It's just the perfect power level. There are certain cards that have been designed that are just perfect. Like, just the perfect power level, perfect amount of fun design, perfect amount of power, perfect amount of I don't know. It's like such a beautifully designed card. So I kept this hand because this is turn 4 Titan, but with a Dryad, so it's gonna be good. Never mind, they have a Thoughtseize, but totally strikes down that value. Yeah, exactly. What else can you ask? Nice. Things looking good here. Unless they have another discard spell. Field doesn't matter too much. Field doesn't matter too much, but a second discard spell would matter a lot. Hex Drinker does not matter. Trying to make a difference here between cards that matter and cards that don't. Card that matters, card that matters, card that doesn't. So I guess we can't play around. So they're gonna be forced into either killing my Dryad or... Like, the Titan is coming down next turn otherwise. Like, they just have to kill the Dryad here. Even just, like, blowing up my land, they lace the Titan for a turn, but unless they have Thoughtseize, of course. Yep, they do. Okay. Stop trying to make Hex Drinker a thing. I mean, people can like whichever cards they want, right? Like, this is kind of a fun card, so... How did response feel? Bad, that's why I cut it. Ended up cutting it because it was bad. Alright, so... If we draw Titan, we win. That's the name of the game. This is some sort of fringe non-Titan Vile deck. Yeah, this is a new deck that has been popping up, which I thought it was pretty interesting, so I wanted to give it a shot, you know? It's a brand new archetype. Alright, that's a problem. On the plus side, if we draw a Titan, we win, so that's cool. Brutal. This is a little bit counterintuitive here, but like I need a second blue source to be able to transmute, so... And thanks to the castle, that we can still haste. I guess we can't, never mind. So that's bad if I draw exactly my third copy of Dryad. It's interesting that my opponent just does not want to activate field for whatever reason. Are there any plans to put Titan Attack on a platform? Yes, they actually are. Good question. Good question, Trex. Yes, we actually have plans of adding it to the Apple one. And I have to talk to Jack about the other one, but there's another one. Guess I should have played castle there. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess Hex Drinker is going to be relevant this game. How wild is that? YouTube would also be a possibility with adding the added value of being able to watch our Jose and mine beautiful faces and Jack's is good value as well. Any thread would have been relevant. Yeah, my opponent had one more Thoughtseize than they needed. I mean, this is what the black green deck does, right? Like, it just Thoughtseizes you, takes your cards, and then it hopes that you don't top deck. That's basically the name of the entire strategy. So here my opponent is trying to minimize my good draws. Although I guess Dryad wouldn't have been good enough regardless. I mean, Titan or bust. That's the name of the game. It's not a Titan, so we bust. All right. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Let's cut these, let's cut this one, let's cut that one. Do I think my opponent is on some sort of land that has value? Probably not, right? One of these we can cut against the Ashiok decks. I think I'm just gonna cut the... We're totally gonna lose to Hissing Quagmire, right? I'm foreseeing the future right now. I am siding out my Ghost Quarter, and we're totally gonna die to Hissing Quagmire. Just swinging for 2 every turn. Keep this. I think we bottomed the pact here. Misplaced Ginger with the raid. Thank you so much for that. Welcome everybody from Misplaced Ginger stream. Play some AmuLIT here, as we often do. How was your stream, man? Also, it's Traitor Village. Yeah, it could have been Traitor Village, I guess. Discard spell. Best way for my opponent to start the game. And thank you for the follow. Stream was good. C Vito and the Chilled Guild. Thank you for the follow. They took Tracker instead of Explore. That's interesting. If I had been my opponent, I think I would have taken the Explorer there. So what do we want to draw here? Another Tracker would be glorious. Are they going to discard? They're not. That's pretty good. 3, 4, 5. So we're 1 mana short of doing all of this in the same turn. So I guess we have to do it like so. Transmute for Summoner's Pact. Pass the turn. How's the stream? Stream's great. have a lot of people hanging out today, playing some AmuLIT, trying some some weird stuff over here. I'm low-key excited to see Defense Grid again. I have not seen Defense Grid since like 2014, I want to say. 2015 maybe? It's been a minute. If my opponent plays Ashiok here, what's the line? Am I supposed... I still go with Titan, right? It's just bigger. Bigger and badder instead of a tracker. Thoughts on Unsummon? Oh, shut up, Leviathan. Right, so here comes Ashiok. Packed in response. I think... No, I guess we're getting Tireless Tracker. So we get super blown out by an Inquisition or something, because we actually cannot play this tracker. Oh yeah, my opponent's a minuser. Hell yeah, opponent. Good job. Good job. For those of you that are new to the stream, when I say a minuser, if we look at... if we analyze what my opponent just did, is they actually made their Planeswalker easier for me to kill. They also made their Tarmogoyfs significantly small. Like their Tarmogoyfs were 4/5s, and now they are 1/2s. And for literally no upside whatsoever, they exiled cards from my deck that don't matter. This is about where you should be playing Colossal Dread mode to avoid being Ashioked. Yeah, next level plays. We get a minus recommend. Yeah, again, once again, same thing happened. Once again, same thing happened. Opponent achieved absolutely nothing. They achieved absolutely nothing. Playing this because if we find a red source, we can actually, if they minus again, then we can actually attack with a zombie next turn. Minusing in some decks is strictly correct. Like if you have... Yes, but you should minus on yourself, Fate Frog. If my opponent had minus on themselves instead of targeting me, then their Goyfs maybe would be just as big and like stuff like that. Like that's not the case. My opponent just keeps on minusing against me. There are some situations where minusing is correct. Like for example, you either gust your opponent's Primeval Titan and you don't want your opponent to draw their Primeval Titan that they left on top. Yeah, of course you minus. I'm not saying no, don't minus. What I'm saying is don't be idiotic and like think about what you're doing. Like my opponent is just activating right now for no reason. Like they are... It's a strict downside for them to... In every single possible way, it's a strict downside what my opponent is doing. But they can do it, so they do. It's just... It's quite silly. Like I really don't understand it, but like some people do this. They have another one in hand. Yeah, but even when they have another one in hand, like you need to think about it, right? Like if I am able to like, I don't need like if you have another one in hand, you're still giving me a window. Like when the Ashiok dies before you get to cast the second one, I guess before the second one resolves, you actually giving me a window for like to like use like pacts and stuff. Use fetch lands, whatever. So unless your win condition, unless your actual win condition, your plan to win the game is to mill me, like to actually mill me, to destroy every single one, to mill me of every single card from my library, then you should not be minusing. Okay, so they found the land. We might still lose here, right? Because Like, this card is just crazy powerful against us, obviously. What I'm saying is, like, it's not a matter of... What I'm saying is, like, my opponent is making it easier for me to win. Like, they are far enough ahead that maybe it doesn't matter all the stuff that they're doing. They're far enough ahead that maybe it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, like, my opponent is giving me a shot. Like, they should be winning by a landslide right now. And instead, I feel like I have a shot. Liliana bust. Well, they have Liliana, they have Assassin's Trophy, yeah. Like, they have multiple cards that do it here. But look at this right now. Like, my opponent's straight in with zombies. Like, there's no reason for this. If this actually were still at 5, Goif would be a significantly better top deck for my opponent. Like, they wouldn't need to throw Bobs under the bus in order for me to not answer the Ashiok. Like, it's just so bad for them. Like, everything that Ashiok did for them, it helped me. Everything that they did with Ashiok was just making things easier for me. Like, I hope if I find a green bounce land here, I'm in such good shape now. Green bounce land. Gruul Turf, let's go. Gruul Turf, try it. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fine. Like, my opponent, I would be chump attacking with my Dryad if my opponent hadn't minus there. I mean, I feel like I've already, like, gone off about this for for enough. You probably just got the point, right? Like, about why it's bad for them to do that. But like, right now, that Dryad would have been just a bad draw, because I couldn't be able to break through my opponent's like 4 or 5 Tarmogoyf, and their Ashiok would still be at 5. So even if I were to, I would just be chump attacking, right? So anyway, I still think that they have access to decay and a bunch of nonsense, so I think that we're still in bad shape here, yeah. But like, now if I draw a Titan, we actually are ahead. Why Handwear over Slayers? Because it makes the mana easier and we are splashing red in the sideboard, so... Huh, they didn't play a land to attack with Treetop, so I assume that they have an answer to a Titan. Like, if we top deck Titan here, we're actually really fine shape. Is that it? Primeval Titan, Primeval Titan. Yep, that's it. Sweet. My opponent has learned something here. This is justice right here. This right here is just beautiful, beautiful justice. So we're gonna bog them. I guess I just want, excuse me, I just want more bounce lands, so. This is creature, enchantment, land. So if they block with Goif and Hexdrinker. This is, yeah, I think it's better to block them. Do you think Tracker is better than Dispute against control? Yes. I think that Dispute just gets bad a little bit too quickly. Yeah, they get bulls, but like, what am I supposed to do? Just like no attack? Like, I'm dead to pulls regardless. So. I am also dead to Fatal Push, I think. Alright, so now I'm not. Sweet. Yeah, this is correct. Death to Bile Blight. Death to Boros Charm. Man, we're dead to so many things. All I want is an explosive off the top. Is that too much to ask, Chad? Just EE of the top. Let's go with EE of the top. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. One, 2, 3, 4. EE of the top. Oh, this is justice, chat. This is just beautiful, beautiful justice. This is just beautiful, beautiful justice. I guess it's better to tap like this. I had no business winning this game. This was such a perfect example. This was such a great example. This was such a great example of a classic Ashia B- game. I had no business winning this game, none whatsoever. I should have lost multiple turns ago, and instead my opponent just gave me a shot, and then I was able to punish them beautifully. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, again, I'm not saying never activate Ashiok. I'm saying think before activating Ashiok. Okay, very different. Think before activating Ashiok. Thank you for coming to my tech talk. Thank you for coming to my tech talk. Okay. Weird hand, but I think it's a keep. What do you think of the spoilers? It was supposed to be a land-based set, and I can't find anything good for Titan. There's some good stuff for Titan. Listen to the Titan Talk cast that's going out on Thursday. We covered a bunch of those. They also minus it to Oblivion when activation was bad enough. They did 3. Yeah, my opponent really... They really gave me a shot. Which is kind of them. That's problematic. Dryad would have been a great draw there. I'm playing the fetch now because I might want to go fetch for, in response to an Ashiok, I'm probably gonna go fetch for Stomping Ground. It's also nice that we have Urborg, so even if they play Ashiok and we don't get to fetch with this, like, we're still fine, like, we can still tap it for mana, which is funny. Urborg helping out nicely. Do I fetch on end step is the question. I think I fetch on end step. Second Bob. Okay, so Stomping Ground here. What do we got here? It's not good. Definitely not good. Could pact for Dryad. Could also pact for Tracker. I don't think that's what I'm gonna be doing. But every turn that goes by, it gets worse. Excuse me, it gets worse for us. That's whatever, that's also okay. So we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this turn, and then 6 the next turn. Alright, that field is pretty good for them. It means that we can't really go nuts here. In fact, they should probably go after the battlements. If they just spam this level on Hexdrinker, no, Titan is going to be... oh, come on, really? Why is this card in their deck? And why are they getting rewarded for having this card in their deck? Jeez. Opponent's never going to learn. Also, as I was going to say, no, we don't lose to opponents' family levels with Hexdrinker, because once the Titan comes down, it just stabilizes against the Hexdrinker. It just doesn't matter. I think my opponent is considering whether they should trophy the AmuLIT, I guess? That's actually a pretty good draw. Speaking of pretty good draws. Unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to tracker here. Opponent is gonna Liliana minus. I guess what we could have done there was to bounce the Wooded Foothills. Just draw tying off the topic and easy. Yeah, that's always the winning line, right? That's always the easy line. Please trophy my AmuLIT or something like that. That'd be great. I guess I don't have blue sources, but I also don't have time. I mean, explosives does stuff, I guess. All right. So we're definitely using the mana here to draw a clue, to crack a clue. Play this and crack a clue here. This trophy's gone. I expect my opponent to just like untap Liliana minus me. It's bad. Alright. Yeah, this... The turn to Bob into everything else. It's always how this matchup ends badly. Do I guess I can still top deck? I can still top deck engineered explosives. So we can still flip explosives here. And then we have another draw step towards. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Explosives. It's not good, my friends. That is not good. That is not good. All right. 3-2. Twice already it happened today where I just didn't draw business for multiple turns. To be fair, it was worse against the Taxes deck in the previous league where I didn't draw anything of like anything that I could cast period for like 15 top cards in my deck or something silly, but that is exactly how I lose that matchup. Yes, that's the only way to lose it, right? And my opponent played quite poorly there, but they were not punished for them. Like I mean, they were punished on game 2. Like they really threw away game 2 like so hard. But game 3, they also made a couple of questionable plays, but they just didn't because they drew so many cards with Bob that they could just make plays at random and it wouldn't matter. But even at that point, we still have multiple draws that actually get us back into the game. So yeah, it was just not in the cards, I guess. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, YouTube. Take care, and bye bye.